user within the Salesforce, whenever you want to create any user, okay, so profile is mandatory, that we understood, okay, and each and every profile definitely will be associated with one or other license, okay. For example, this profile, this is the user license that is associated with, and we have the limitations on the user licenses. If you buy the different, see, based on the edition that you buy in the Salesforce, the count of user licenses that they give will be varying, okay. So that you should remember. Now, so what I'm saying here is, if you whenever you try to create a user, selecting a profile is mandatory. Okay. For example, if I create if I select the Salesforce user license, so I can select all these profiles are the associated with the Salesforce licenses, Salesforce user license. Okay. So see, go through this one. For example, open any one or two profiles here. So you can cross compare. So see, one profile can have different permissions, another profile can have the different permissions. Okay. So we can also modify the existing permissions on a standard profiles also. For example, I can edit this one. I can modify the existing profile. Okay. So and all the users who are assigned with this specific profile will have the capability as per the permissions that we are giving here. So you should remember that point. Okay. For example, so there are just like standard profile. If you want to create the new profile, then you can actually click on the new profile. It's like creating a custom profile. It's like just like we create a custom object. It's like creating the custom profile. That's it. So it will actually ask, see, existing profile and this profile is associated with this user licenses. Okay. So now if you click on, if you want to, so see, when you want to create a new profile, it will not directly ask you to create and give the name. So it will actually ask you to give the reference of existing profile, so that it will actually copy everything. Okay. So cloning is nothing but a copying. Okay. So what are the profile that you select? Okay. So, and if I give new profile, for example, all marketing admins. Okay. So this is the new custom profile I am going to create, and I am cloning it from the system administrator profile. So when I click on the save, whatever I have permissions that are available in this profile will get copied or will get carried over to this profile also. Okay. So and this profile is also will be associated with this user license. Clear? So now I created one marketing admin profile, all marketing admin profile. Okay. So this is a custom profile. Now we already seen what do you mean by page layouts. Okay. So what is the purpose of page layouts? Okay. If you have any confusion on what is the purpose of page load, please let me know. I will explain it again. Okay. Now, VLAN security also. So, like we can control the who can see. Okay. We can control which field. Okay. Which field to be visible and which field to be editable. That also we can control. And we discussed everything a couple of days back. Okay. Using the VLAN security. Now, if you have any confusion on this one, so please let me know. Again, I will explain. So as simple as that. Okay. Now, so there are few administrative permissions here. Okay, we need to focus on. Also, we will go one by one. Okay, so we will not discuss everything. Okay, we will see what are the important, whatever we feel that as an important. Those things only we will discuss. Okay, so and now let's go ahead and see. So these are we will call it as these are administrative permissions. Okay, so there are few things that we can control using administrative permissions. Okay, for example. We have author apex. I will give few things like, see, author apex. Okay, I will not explain everything. Okay, but I will explain whatever I feel important and we use regularly. So author apex means, so whenever a user is having this profile assigned, okay, so if we have author apex, he can create the apex class. That means, so the users assigned with this profile can actually go ahead and create the apex classes. I mean, basically, he can author the apex classes. So what do you mean by apex class? If you go to the developer console by clicking on here, and this is the developer console. You can go ahead and create the apex class. Okay, that is the purpose of author apex. Okay, so what happens if I uncheck this author apex? Okay, whether you will be able to create the apex class or not. So in order to see that, first I need to create a user and assign this profile, okay, to that user. But I need to check whether that user is able to create the apex class or not. Okay, okay. First I will create a user. Okay, and I will assign this profile to him. Then I will uncheck that author apex and I will let you know. Clear? So now let's go here and create a one user. Okay, now refresh it. Let me know if I'm going very too fast or if I'm not making any sense. I will repeat it. Okay, but don't sit in a confusion. Okay, I will say Govardhan Ras is the user. Okay, his email ID is Govardhan dot Ras maybe hotmail.com. So dot learning username can be like it should be form of email. So he's actually a Salesforce developer working in ITC company randomly. Okay, so ITC company department, marketing department, anything else. So all the relevant information that we will give. Now I will give, so under Salesforce license, so what is the profile that I have created? Market, sorry, what is that? All marketing admin is a custom profile that I have created. Now, so ignore about this checkboxes and all, ignore it, okay? So we can see this is optional, we can give his address, mailing address. So what do you know if federation ID is not needed now, so ignore it. So if this Govardhan is having any manager, so you can actually select that manager as a user and click on the save. So if this checkbox is enabled, okay, automatically as soon as I click on the save, the email ID will be triggered. The email will be triggered to this email ID. Okay. So saying that a new account has been created for you. So click on the link below to create a set up your password. So if you don't want that email to be triggered, you can actually uncheck it and save it. Okay. Now this guy we created new user. Okay. So no Salesforce CRM content license. Okay. CRM content license. 1 minute. Okay. License is issue. Okay. I'll recreate it once again. Role is optional. Okay. So marketing admin. That's a great thing. Now click on. I remove it, right? Should not be that. I will retry in different tab if it is the same issue. Should not come. Okay. So now a user with Govardhan has been created. Okay. So as a system administrator, okay, I can actually log in this as user. Okay. So basically, if I see if user with this email ID wants to log in by himself. Okay. For example, if you are the Govardhan and you have this email ID. Okay. And I don't want. I want you to log in, then I need to reset your password. You will get the password reset verification email to this email ID. Okay, but I don't have any user. This user is not available right now. But I want to, as a Salesforce administrator, I want to log in as him to verify that. Okay, so there will be a separate button called login option. Okay, login. If I click on that button, so I will be able to log in as that user directly. So I will have all the permissions and as this user. Okay. So you know what do you mean by please unactive and all. So if you have any questions, please let me know. So how can I make sure that I will log in as this user? Okay. So to get the login button here, so we have something called login. Login access policy. 1 minute. Okay. See, if you see, we have the login access policies. Okay, login access policies. So in this login access policies, we have an option called administrators can log in as any user. Got it? If you enable this one, so what is the change that you are going to see? Okay. Now click on here. Now you come here and refresh. Okay. Now you see login button came, right? So the reason why I'm saying the login button here is that I am a system administrator, and so once I enable this enabled option, so I can actually see the login option. Clear? So that means I can actually click on this user and log in as this user. Clear? Now what I will do, I will log in as this user. Okay. So this user profile, you know, right? So marketing admin. So this guy has the author Apex permissions. Okay. So that means he can create the Apex classes. Okay. So we'll see whether he will be able to create the Apex class or not. See, logged in as Govardhan Raj. Okay, that means I have logged in as this user is actually associated with this email. Okay, if you want to log in, log out, log out, then I can log out. Okay, so then if I want to create, so I can go ahead and create the Apex classes. So okay, so that means that the reason why he is able to create the Apex class is that so he has the author Apex permission. Okay, so I am learning Apex is the class name that I can give. So this is the Apex class got created. Now what I will do, I will go ahead, I will log out as this user. Okay. I will log in as my user now. Okay. Now what I will do, I will go ahead and remove the author Apex permission. Clear? From the profile. Clear, right? If you are feeling confused, please let me know. Okay. Now I will go to this profile. Okay. So this is the profile associated with the Govardhan Raj. And I will edit this one. Now you log in as this, just to refresh and log in as that user. Okay, log in as again that user. Now I just logged in as Govardhan Raj. Now I will see whether I will be able to create the Apex class or not. See, I don't see Apex class, Apex trigger. Got it? Any confusion on this? Hello?
No.
No. So that means it is as simple as controlling. See, for one user, I want him to be able to create the Apex class. I will assign a permission profile which is having author Apex. And for other user for whom I don't want him to create any Apex class, basically I would like to prevent it, then I will actually remove the author Apex, then you will not be able to create at any cost Apex classes. That's it. So this is one example. Okay. So we can control fine grain. We can, for each and every user, we can actually fine grain and give only the access that basically is actually entitled to do. Okay. So it's not like we can give everything and we will ask him to not to do so and so. We can actually restrict it. Okay. At user level is in the profile. So this is just one example. Okay. So we can have multiple such examples. Okay. Sorry, network issue is there, so it's taking some time to load. If you see now we are in the summer 26, we are seeing the logo, right? Now let me go again and go to this marketing admin profile. So like that, we can do multiple other things also. We have administrative permissions. Okay. We ignore about accept inbound building. So not all things are necessary. Okay. So see, manage login access policies. If I uncheck this one, this user cannot see the login access policies. He cannot do any updates. Got it? So now I'm able to go there and click on edit and update. I mean, I can change the policies. That means I have manage login access policies. Also, this profile, I mean, any user who is assigned with this profile, okay, they actually have the permission to manage login access policy. See, my profile is different. Okay, if you are feeling confused, see, my profile is different, guys. Okay, my profile is different. Okay, so this is my profile, system administrator profile. Okay, and Govardhan Raj profile is all marketing admin. I just cloned and I'm just making the changes on the cloned profile. See, my profile is system administrator. Okay, so his profile, Govardhan profile is all marketing admin. Okay, now what do you mean by manage login access policies? Okay. Manage login access policy. If I uncheck this one, he will not be able to do this login access things. Okay, you know, right? Like login access. This thing, it's a homework for you. Create a new profile, okay, with the Salesforce user license. I mean, spin up new Salesforce. I mean, create a new playground, okay, so that you will not encounter the license issues. There, you clone the existing system administrator profile, give the new profile name, and create a user and assign this newly created profile, and modify the permissions and login as that user, newly created user, and observe whether he is able to do whatever we revoke, whether he is able to do or he is not able to do. Clear? Any confusion on this? Are you clear on what do you manage access policies, or do you want me to show that one too? Please let me know.
Can you just repeat the requirement and what exactly they have to do?
So, okay, requirement is, I mean, homework for you is that. So, spin up new Salesforce site first thing, okay? New Salesforce from Trailhead. Got it? So how to spin up? Go to Trailhead hands-on arcs, okay, and create a new playground, okay. Then it's a homework for you. Clone existing system administrator profile, got it, and give random unique to different name, okay. Got it? Now create a new user and assign this user with the profile you created in step number 2. Got it? Clear? Now modify the few permissions like author apex or login access policies, checkboxes, and login as user we created in step 3. Clear? Observe the differences in different permissions. Clear? Any confusion on the requirement?
No.
Okay. So we will actually focus on a few other things. Okay. So manage login access policies means if I uncheck this one, Govardhan will not be able to do any modifications on the login access policy. You cannot uncheck. So we will be restricting it so that you will not be able to enable or disable the any check permissions here. Okay. That's the manage access policies. Okay. Next, is there any other? And so like manage password policies. Okay. So password policies are something. Okay. So if you disable this one. Okay. If you disable this one, so the Govardhan will not be able to control the password policies. Okay. Like at the profile level we have the password policies. He will not be able to control the password policies. So that is the purpose of unchecking the password policies. Okay. So next, if you remove this manage profiles and permissions checkbox, okay, for this profile, okay, any user who is assigned with this profile cannot create the new profile. Got it? You cannot go and create the new profile. Got it? Do you want me to show? I can actually show you. Okay. So as of now, for example, if I log in as a Govardhan, okay, so I can create the new profile. But if I uncheck that, okay, for example, profiles. Okay, click on new profile. Okay, you'll be able to create. In fact, once I click on the give name and click on save, it'll actually create. Similarly, we have the profile. Similar to profile, you have permission sets also. What do you mean by permission sets? That I will actually explain later. So this guy will be able to create the permission set also. But if I remove this permission, if I remove the checkbox called manage profiles and permission sets, okay, for this profile, then let me remove it. If I uncheck it, then if I log in as Govardhan, who is assigned with this profile, you will not be able to create the profile, profiles or new profile or permission sets. Okay, clear? Are you understanding? Now let me log in as that user. Govardhan, where is it? Login. Now you just observe. So how we are restricting the, so that you will not be able to create the new permission. You should not be able to create because we removed that manage profiles and okay. So you cannot create the new things. See, there is no new button here. Clear? Any confusion?
No.
Also, you don't see drop down button to delete anything. Okay, so you will not be able to create and delete. Remember? So the reason is also not only profile, there is a thing called permission sets. I will explain what is permission set later. You will not be able to create the permission sets also. Okay, see, there is no new button. Clear, right? Any confusion on this manage profiles and permission sets checkbox?
No.
Guys, please let me know. No confusion on this checkbox?
No.
Okay. So like this for each and everything, okay, we have a separate checkboxes. Okay. So these things we will call it as the administrative permissions. Okay. So administrative permissions. So you don't need to remember in a mind, okay, each and everything, but when you see it, you should be able to at least, even if you don't know, if you Google and you should be able to understand, okay, if I remove the checkbox, so and so things will get controlled. So if you have that much knowledge, that's enough. Okay. Now, so similarly, roles also. If you uncheck this one, you will not be able to go and create the roles. Okay, so we didn't discuss about the roles, but there is a concept called roles. Okay, so we can create the new roles. Okay, we can create the new role. So role is nothing but a hierarchy. Okay, for example, any organization we have the manager, sub manager, junior manager, like team lead. Okay, developer, like that. So roles, we can actually implement this hierarchy within the Salesforce also. Okay, so if you restrict this one, okay, if you restrict manage role checkbox, if you disable this one, you will not be able to create the new role. Okay, you will not be able to create the add role. Govardhan, for the Govardhan related profile, that is a marketing admin, if I uncheck this one, you will not be able to create the add role. Are you clear on this point? Add roles? Any confusion? Please let me know. Okay. Next. Manage reports in a public folders. Okay, what do you mean by reports in public folders? Okay, so we didn't discuss about actually reports. Did we discuss reports already? Okay, so we have a concept called reports. That means we can actually create the reports in Salesforce. So you don't need to know each and everything right now itself. Just familiarize with words now. Report is nothing but on any standard custom object. Okay, we can create the reports. Okay, so these are all, see, this is the reports tab. Okay, reports tab. Okay, so if you want to create the new report, you can actually create the new, click on the new report. So report folder, so these things called the report folders. Okay, so report folder acts like in our Windows system, we will have on a desktop or somewhere we can create the folders, right? So report folders are similar to that, but where inside the Salesforce report folders purpose is to store only the folder reports. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we can create the multiple folders. Okay, so for example, marketing reports one folder. Okay, so financial reports one folder, like that. Okay, marketing reports. Okay, so like one folder. Got it? So like this I can create the multiple folders. So why I am telling about this report, folders and reports and all. So if I don't want my user, that is Govardhan, to see the reports, okay, or to delete the reports in public folders. For example, we have something called public folder here. Okay. For example, if you create any if you create any new report, okay, by clicking on new, okay, so it will actually ask you to select the, okay, from which object you want to create the report. So basically it is actually ask you to create the report type, okay. So this is the report, okay. We can actually apply the filters here, okay. So like all time, okay, created date, so all the account records, okay. Just refresh. When you try to save this report, okay, so we have something called folder. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, we have private reports. Okay, private report is one folder, but if you want to change the folder, we have the public reports also. So whatever the reports that you store within the public reports, all the users within the Salesforce arc can see them and also can edit and delete them. Okay, but I don't want this particular user Govardhan to delete the reports, okay, or edit the reports that are stored in the public folder. Got it? Public folder. So that's what are the reports that are stored. For example, account report. Report. So if I click on the save, so basically I can go ahead and see. Basically, public report means any user within the Salesforce arc who is actually having the access to reports tab can see and edit read, edit, and delete the reports stored in the public folder. Clear? But I don't want this user to manage or edit and delete the report stored in this public folder. Then I can uncheck this one. Clear? Any confusion on this one? Hello?
No.
Okay, no confusion. Okay, that's good. Next. So next, assign permission sets. Once we discuss what do you mean by permission sets, then you will better understand what do you mean by assign permission sets. So as of now, it is not needed. Okay. So next. So manage users. So manage is nothing but a, so once we enable this checkbox, so as of now he is not able to manage, but that means he will not be able to create the users, or he cannot be deactivate the users like that. Okay. So you also like manage the user access policies. Okay. So user access policies, I think Jyoti, did you in your yesterday's trial module, did you understand about what you mean by user access policies? The module that you saw yesterday.
Yes. Yes.
So user access policies, we will discuss it again. Okay, so we can actually restrict that user from doing the user access policies. Okay, I think Harish and other user. So once you complete the trailhead modules, okay, you will be able to understand what you mean by access policies. Please complete it. Okay, so if you don't understand again, so anyhow, I will be, as part of training, I will be covering this thing. But once you complete the trailhead, you will be having a better understanding. So I will explain this again. Okay, clear?
Yeah. Okay.
Next, we have a create report folders. Okay, for example, if I log in as just now, if you see, like, so I can actually create the report folder. Okay, I create for example, just now I created the marketing reports, right? So I don't want this user, for example, I don't want this user Gautam to create the new report folder. So then I can actually uncheck this one. Got it? For example, now without unchecking this one, I will log in as this user called Gautam. Then I will show you whether he is able to create the report folder or not. Then I will uncheck this permission. Then I will again show you whether he is able to create the report folder or not. Okay, clear? Now go to the view users. Okay, log in as this user. See, it's very difficult to go through each and every checkbox, but you should have a clear understanding of what we can control with what. Okay, for example, I log in as Gautam. If I go to the reports, okay, go to the reports. So he is able to create the new report folder. For example, on USA, okay, so clinical trials reports, trial reports. The report folder, he is able to create it. Now, you cancel. Now, I don't want this user to be able to create basically, I want him to only consume what existing reports. I don't want him to create the new folder. Then I should be able to restrict this. So how can I restrict? So how can I restrict? Now, click on login again. Edit this user, edit this one. Uncheck this one. Click on the save. Now log in as that user. Now you will see you will not be able to, you should not be able to create the new report folder. See, you cannot create the, though I am in the all folders, I am not able to create the new report folder. Clear, right?
Yes.
So like this, we can control each and everything at the profile level. Okay. So basically, if you see delete files, if you uncheck this one, you will not be able to delete the files available in the file section. Okay. Clear, right? So you should be able to have the basic understanding, like, so what is what we can control. Let me see 1 minute, it's loading. Now again go to the marketing nothing. Go to administrative permissions. So if you uncheck this one, edit my reports, edit, so you'll not be able to edit the existing reports. Clear? Similarly, you'll not be able to, if you don't want him to, edit the dashboards, then we can uncheck this one. So these are the self-explanatory, but we should focus on what is what. Okay. You don't need to learn or know about each and every report. Okay. So each and every checkbox. It's better if you have basic understanding of each and every checkbox. Not all needed, but wherever like reports, list views, such type of things. So we will explore these things, right? So this is a homework. Okay. Not only what are the requirement that I have given here. Okay. So you need to explore. Okay. Uncheck this one and try login as that user and explore. Okay. Explore whether he is able to do it or not. So we'll do it, right? So what do you mean by what you call schedule reports? Okay. So schedule reports is nothing but we can actually schedule a report. So what do you mean by scheduling a report? Okay. So for example, if you have this report, so we can actually schedule this report. Schedule means subscribing. Okay. Subscribing means scheduling. For example, I want this report to be sent for so and so number of people. So daily or weekly or monthly basis. Okay. For example, every week on Sunday and Tuesday. Okay. At so and so time. Okay. I want this report to be sent as an email. Okay. So then I can actually click on the save. So to which all the users I need to send this report means I can actually edit the recipients here. Okay. So we can actually select the role. Okay. We didn't discuss about roles, right? So we'll discuss about it. Okay. So for example, if I select what are the users within the Salesforce, or if I select those users and click on the select and say add and save it, then those users will receive the email of this report on every week Sunday 11 a.m. and also Tuesday 11 a.m. Okay. If you want to attach the file also to that email as an attachment, it will get attached. Okay. Email. Okay. So basically, if you don't attach, you will receive the report link. Okay. If you want to attach the latest, for example, currently I have the 12 records. Maybe within 1 week, I will create another 12 records. The total 24 records report will be delivered to this subscription users. So if you don't want this user to schedule this report, basically scheduling, it means like subscribe. Okay. So if you don't want go over them to schedule this report, then I will be able to uncheck this one. Clear? Any confusion on this?
No.
So I request you to do each and every checkbox and enable, check, and disable, and re-verify. So few things you will not be able to understand, like what do you mean by custom notifications, then ignore those things. Wherever it is very easy. Okay. For example, subscribe to dashboards. What do you mean by subscribe to dashboard? You should be able to check it first. Okay, so what do you mean by subscribe to dashboard? So we have in dashboards, we have something called, okay, so subscriptions. Okay, so okay, for example, so subscribing to dashboard is just like a scheduling a report. Okay, for example, if you click on here, so there is dashboard, we can actually subscribe, download new dashboard, change one. Okay, ignore it. So where is that? Just like report scheduling, we can also subscribe. So there is something called subscribe. Okay, I'm not able to do that. Okay, so I will show it to you later. Okay, so I'm not able to do that subscribe option. Okay, so we can actually disable that option also. Okay, so I mean it may feel too much clumsy now, but once you get the fair understanding, we will be able to control it. Okay, so what we can do, what we cannot control. Okay. Similarly, lightning experience user. Okay, so lightning experience user means, so we are, see, there are two experiences for the Salesforce. Okay, there are two experiences for the Salesforce. I mean, experiences means two user interfaces in this context. Two user interfaces. Okay, in this context. What do we mean by two user interfaces? So whatever the user interface that we are currently seeing, we'll call it as a lightning user interface. Lightning user interface. So prior to this user interface, we have a user interface called classic user interface. Classic user interface. So if I uncheck this checkbox, you will not be able to see the Salesforce user interface in the lightning experience. What do you mean by classic user interface? You may get me out. Okay. So I'll explain about what do you mean by dashboard subscription later. Ignore it. Okay. Now, what do you mean by classic user interface? If I click on here, there is a checkbox called switch to classic. Switch to Salesforce Classic. Okay, so prior to Lightning user interface, Salesforce used to we used to work with the Salesforce in this user interface. Okay, so this is called app. Okay, so here, sorry, this is called app. Okay, sorry, this is this one. So this is called app. Okay, we have different apps. So just like we have app launcher, so we have prior to app launcher 9 dots, we used to have like this. Okay, so now these are different tabs. This is the classic user interface. So if I don't want the user who's assigned with this profile called marketing admin, okay, to be able to, okay, use the lightning experience, I want him to work within the classic experience only. Then what can I do? Okay, I can edit this one. Okay, I can edit this one. Okay, I can uncheck this checkbox. Got it? Uncheck this checkbox. Then you will not be able to see the lightning experience. Got it? Now, log in as this user. See, he's not able to see. There is no option to switch to lighting. Switch to lighting also. Clear? Any confusion on this? Hello?
No.
Guys, please let me know.
No.
No confusion, right?
Yes.
Okay. So like this, we can control each and everything. Okay. Oh. No, but I will be having, see, my user access policy. I am the user access policy user. I mean, that's the name that I have given like that. Okay, I can switch to lightning experience, but Gordon will not be able to switch to lightning experience. Okay, because of that permission. So that is the checkbox that it controls. Okay, so you know, like manage access policies, like we have the user access policies. Okay, so once you complete the trial head, you will be able to understand this. So similarly, like manage all private reports and dashboards. Okay, that means, so in the reports and dashboards, just like, okay, whether it is a what you call reports or dashboards, so we have something called private report folder. Also, we have something for the dashboard. We have a private dashboard folder. Okay, so that means whatever the report that you save, whatever the report that you create and save. Okay, so if you save that inside a, for example, if you save inside a private report, only this user can see those reports. Other users cannot be able to see those reports. But if you have this manage all private reports and dashboards, so all the reports and dashboards stored in the private folders also, he will be able to access. Clear? But if I don't want this user to access the reports or dashboards stored in the which are saved in the private reports or private dashboards. Even if you create the private dashboard, then you will not be okay. See, while creating the private dashboards, so we can actually have the public. Sorry, we can actually create the new folder there also we can show. Okay, so private dashboards is nothing but if you save any dashboard within the private dashboard folder, you will other users will not be able to see. Okay, but if we have this checkbox, we will be able to see it. Clear? Any confusion? No confusion, right? Okay. So similarly, okay. So if I don't want this user to see all the users, okay. For example, if I don't want Gordon to see all the users listed, okay. By clicking on here, okay. So now, as of now, he is able to go to the setup and click on the users. He can see all the users. But I don't want him to show the list of all users. Okay. Then if I remove this one, uncheck, then he will not be able to see this user interface. Similarly for profiles also, if we uncheck this one, he will not be able to see the profiles section. Okay, so you will not be able to see this section also. So like that we can control each and everything. Okay, clear? So there is one more powerful, or I can say important checkbox called view all data. Okay, so view all data is very important checkbox, because if you have this enabled, if you have this checkbox enabled, okay, so irrespective of okay, so 1 minute. So we have something called standard object permissions. Okay, standard object permissions. Okay, so if you see, so we have standard object permissions. Okay, similarly just below it we have the custom object permissions. Okay, so since we are talking about view all data, so if you have view all data permission, so irrespective of the standard object permissions or custom object permissions, okay, he will be, once we have the view all data, that means we are giving a permission to this assigned profile users. He can view all the records of all the objects. Clear? So basically, in the standard object permissions, I mean, see, object permissions are the powerful thing where we can control whether this profile assigned users can read a record. That means whether he can actually open a record of the account and we can read it. But basically, for example, if I enable this checkbox called view all data checkbox in above, if I disable this read, I mean, if I view all records or read, okay, but okay, if I have this view all data and if I remove this checkbox called read also, but still he will be able to see all the records of the account, or not only account, all the standard custom object, because we have given him an ultimate weapon called view all data checkbox. So once I give it, he will be able to see all the standard object permissions. Okay, they are just standard. So if you have any custom objects here, just below this, you will see the custom object permissions also. Clear? So if you uncheck this checkbox, okay, as long as you have this checkbox enabled, if you uncheck this read permission also, he will be able to see, read the data of, okay, for example, if you remove the read checkbox and the lead object. But if you remove this one, but if you have this view all data checkbox enabled, he will be able to read the lead records data. Got it? So view all data is like an ultimate permission, irrespective of the standard object checkboxes that you have here. You will be able to see that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Clear? So yes, we will discuss in action. Okay, we will discuss in action what we can do. Okay, by unchecking this one, certain actions. Okay, we will do certain demo, and without by checking certain demo. Okay, I mean couple of user interface demo, and with okay. So unchecking. Okay, so you understand, right? So enable this one, do some demo. Disable this one and do some demo. Clear?
Yes.
So we will discuss about this. So, but remember this is a powerful checkbox. Next.
Sorry, what checkbox?
Sorry?
You said this is dash and what checkbox?
This is the dashboard. Sorry.
Sorry,
this is a powerful checkbox.
Powerful checkbox.
Powerful. Okay. Powerful in terms of data visibility. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
Next. Similarly, if you remove this manage leads, you will not be able to create and delete the leads. Clear? This is like managing the leads. Okay. So you don't need to know mass event. See, it's like once you get too much of understanding of the Salesforce, you will get the what you call better understanding. Okay. So next, run reports. So you know what you mean by run reports? You can actually go and run the reports here. Okay. So that means if you go and report here, you can actually run it. Okay. Once you click on here, okay. So there is option called run. Okay. So if you don't want that permission, you can actually uncheck this run reports. Clear? So like that, for each and everything. Okay. So you can actually do this. Okay. So like knowledge one. So few things you are not needed, but few things like you should be able to understand. Okay. So minus flows. If you have unchecked this one, he will not be able to create the flows. Clear? So like this, at the profile level, we can control what that particular user can do, what he cannot do. Okay. Each and everything that we can control. Okay. Any confusion so far?
No.
Okay. So you'll practice this one, right, for today?